Yo, Owen.
What's up?
You got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do.
I am dead serious. My alarm did not go off.
Jesus, man.
Bro,
Boy was sleeping like a baby.
I really was too, dude. I woke up and I looked over. I checked the time. It was like 6. I had my alarm set for 5:15.
How can we succeed when they're not even sleeping on us? When we're sleeping on ourselves?
Bro,
that's unfortunate,
dude.
Man. That's very unfortunate.
It really is. But yeah, that's my fault, boys. I sincerely apologize.
You're all good, Owen. You're all good. We're just making some small talk, talking about finals week. How you doing right now?
Swell, dude. I had my hardest final out of the way already, so.
How do you think you did? In what class?
It was for my English class. It was a presentation.
Oh. Bro, I hate public speaking.
Dude,
as
you're on a podcast, yeah.
But
I mean, well, it's different because you're talking to like people you know.
So like new people. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're talking in a classroom full of like guys and girls you never met before.
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, and you remember? Yeah, last year in our English class with Miss Hogarth, we had like the presentations on that. Like, I don't even remember what the project was about. It was just some topic we were interested in or didn't really know about.
Yeah.
Dude, I had like Dibo has to know this. I had like maybe 10, 15 voice cracks in like a 5-minute presentation. It was, like I was so nervous. I was shitting bricks.
Dude, that's yeah. You should have been there.
Not a good time.
Yeah, man, you're lucky that one wasn't on video. That could come back to haunt you.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
All right, but yeah, do we want to start now?
Let's do it, dude.
Word. I'm not doing all the intro stuff. We can just go on the fly here. So yeah, man, NBA playoffs. Woo! Let's go.
Dude, we're in the meat of it.
All our teams doing well.
Yes, sir.
My Celtics game 1. Very unfortunate. Took it now. James Harden decides to turn the clock back like 8 years to his Houston days. Hey, Celtics in 6 though. I don't really care, but we move.
But speaking of that series and speaking of the 76ers, Joel Embiid named the 2022-2023 NBA MVP. Owen, I want to ask you first because you're a fan of a team that had the runner-up of the award in Nikola Jokic. What do you think?
Congrats. I mean, I'm not here to hate. You know, I think there were numerous people that deserved it this year, but being a fan of Nikola Jokic, I do want to bring up that emerging story about how there was the one voter that did not even have Jokic in the top 5. Like, that's a little ridiculous.
That is. I concur. Yeah, I'm happy that they transitioned to the way of like where the voters have to have their name released with their ballots, because I think it makes it like where this guy, for example, there's a light shined on him when he does something stupid like that. Like, because I think whether you think Jokic should have won MVP or not, we can all agree he was a top 3 candidate. And for him to be put at 5 just does not make sense. It's almost like
not even at 5.
Not watching.
He was not even a 5th place vote.
Right.
He was outside of the top 5 for this guy.
Excuse me. Who did he have? He had
I don't know.
Embiid,
but I saw there was a couple of 5th place votes for like people like John Morant and I think even Donovan Mitchell I saw.
John Morant after he missed a month of the season?
For real. That's just the crazy story about the MVP race so far.
No, I mean, I agree. I thought it was one of the cases where there was no wrong answer, whether it was Jokic, whether it was Giannis, whether it was Embiid. Whoever won it was deserving of the award. And for Embiid, he was completely dominant, 3rd best team in the NBA. I mean, he deserved it. Leading scorer in points per game. So cheers to him. I know he wanted this one very much, so congratulations,
sure
Mr. Embiid.
That's right. That is right.
All right. Yeah, my thoughts on Embiid winning MVP. First things first, man. Cameroon, stand up. The country of Cameroon, please stand up. Hey, we first African-born player to ever get NBA MVP. Let's get it. We are balling. The motherland's balling. Salute to my brother Embiid, man. Great year.
Are you gonna
Philly,
stand up?
bro. I don't want to be too extra here, man. I don't want to be too extra.
Bro
Calling him
said
out.
Cameroon stand up and then he's sitting down.
Bro, like the crowd, whoever's watching this, like to stand up. Whoever's from Cameroon, please stand up. Like that. That's what I meant. I don't want, bro. It doesn't mean I should stand up, but I
Leader
digress
of
from
the
that.
pack has to lead by example.
Bro, all right. I digress. But yeah, top three in the Eastern Conference this year. I don't know the exact stats on my mind right now, but 30 plus points per game, 10, 11 rebounds per game too, averaging a double-double the whole year, being a leader for that team as well. Man, yeah, it's just salute. Great year. So
No doubt. Joel deserved this award. I am happy that I also think he took a step with his game this year. I think that in other years it may have been premature to give him the MVP. I know that he was battling 1 and 2 with Jokic, but I think that this year was like the year for him. I think it was a very well. One, obviously, he shot very efficiently. Two, he became a much better playmaker, especially when he was getting double teamed in the post and in the low block. And then his defense, which I mean, I had been a critic of his defense, and maybe his stamina was playing a part of that. But this year, he didn't have any major injuries, and his defense was improved.
That's right. Well said.
fair enough.
For
Also,
sure.
one more question, and this goes out to Owen right now.
Let's hear it.
So, Owen, man, because of Jokic not getting MVP for the third straight year. How do you feel about fellow Nuggets fans like being, saying that, oh yeah, man, that was a pity award, Adam Silver in the NBA, there was like, man, yo, Embiid, bro, take this, man, so you just stop complaining. How do you feel about that whole situation?
I mean, it's not to say that he didn't deserve it, right? I don't. I mean, there's obviously be some people that say that, but I think it's more coming from a thing of obviously there's going to be a little bit of salty Nuggets fans. They're like, oh, Jokic should have won it, no questions asked, right? But I mean, there was definitely a little bit that Embiid was doing to try to help his case off the floor. I don't think anyone's denying that. But the people who are still here a day after complaining about it, just grow up, man. It's happened. It's in the past. We can just look to next season. Maybe Jokic wins the next season. Maybe some new talent comes out and wins it. We congratulate them then too.
I wanna do this right now. We'll obviously probably do a award and record or champion prediction before the season starts. But as right now, with your way too early 2024 MVP, who are you predicting? Either of you.
Well, that's a tough one.
Damn,
That's like the hardest ask right now.
who would take the?
Dude, how you gonna throw us on us right now with that?
Okay. I'll answer mine. I'll give my answer, and I'll give you guys some
your
time
answer
to think.
first.
My answer is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis finished third this season in MVP voting, and then he had a disappointing playoff run, to say the least. I know he said it wasn't a failure, and I actually like the quote, to be honest with you guys. I thought it was well said. I thought it's something that you don't hear often, but should be said more. But I think that Giannis is going to seek a vengeance. We know that Giannis is the type of guy to where he feels like he let himself down, where he feels he dropped his standard, where his play wasn't as good as we know. He usually comes and performs, like in the finals in 2021 when he shot horrible from the free throw line, and then in the game 6 that they won, he was, what was it, 17 for 17 or 18 for 18. So I think Giannis will get back in the lab. I think the Milwaukee Bucks will be a 1 seed or a top 3 seed at the minimum for sure. So I take Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's a respectable pick.
I think I'm going Giannis too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Going Giannis too.
I'm gonna kind of steer away from the trend, but also stay with the trend. I know a lot of people are saying Luka Doncic last season would win it this season, right? And I'm gonna actually fall back on that again. I'm gonna think Luka is gonna win it. I know the Mavs organization said that they're gonna be making a lot of offseason changes, and I think there's a good chance they come back strong. Luka comes back hungry, and he plays well enough to get the MVP.
Oh, and that's a bold pick. That's a bold pick.
It is for sure.
Because everything weighs on the offseason. Because if they have a great offseason, then you look like a genius. But
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's my pick.
Yeah, but if they have a bad offseason,
for sure.
Then I mean,
yeah,
you can't lose because we're doing this before the 2023 season is even over.
Of course.
So I mean, it's not bad.
That's why it's a super early prediction.
Smart.
It doesn't really hold any weight whether you're wrong or right. I mean, if you're right, obviously you have a little bit of bragging rights, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
All right, man. Shoot, fair enough, man. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. Moving on to our next segment, first round. Let's recap a little bit. Now, I want to go in depth on the more competitive matchups. To be honest, I don't know if you guys are feeling this as well, but I don't really want to talk about Philly versus Brooklyn. That was like
no, we don't. We do not care.
Yeah, it's
that's role players. They didn't come through, man. Philly was just a better team for 4 straight games. So like series like that. So to start off, I just want to go back to the series that ended last Sunday, which was Warriors Kings. How do you feel about that? Warriors in 7, man. They pulled it off again.
What a series, man.
I mean, what can you say about Steph Curry? First player I think that was the most points ever put up in a Game 7 in NBA history.
It was
first 50 bomb, yeah.
Well, first, actually, let me restart. One, I want to give a big shout out to the Sacramento Kings, man. From Mike Brown to De'Aaron Fox, which it was said that he had the second most points ever in a playoff debut. I bet you could guess who number one was.
LeBron.
Sabonis had a great, of course, any playoff stat. Sabonis had a great regular season. Shout out Malik Monk or not even out of nowhere. He's been great all year.
We've been known he's bench. Nice, yeah.
Terrence Davis. They deserve a big round of applause because going to 7 with the Golden State Warriors and the talent they have with the playoff experience and the coaching of Steve Kerr, it's not an easy thing to do. So I know that they were first round exits, but they deserve to be applauded. But going back to the Golden State Warriors, this is just what they do. Simple as that.
It really is. It really is. Simple hey, remember what I said in the group chat when the final the final standings were out? I said the Kings don't have a chance of winning the series. And it was misunderstood, and rightfully so. What I meant by that was that there's just no way, no matter what happens, the Warriors are going to win it. And that was right. I mean, I was right, and it looks good for me. But no, it was an amazing series. I believe I even predicted on the earlier podcast that Warriors would take it in 7. But yeah, it was awesome for any fan. No matter, you don't even have to be a fan of the teams, but just seeing that battle between Steph and then De'Aaron, obviously, it was great for the NBA, great for the future of the Sacramento Kings.
I also think it was the best series in the first round. I think it was by far.
I think you join everyone else in thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah. My thoughts on it. Golden State. I got to swallow my pride here. I was wrong. Guys.
It happens.
I was wrong throughout the year, man. I said, "Yo, this Warriors team." They didn't show me throughout the entire year that they were a serious contender. Defending champs or not, but hey, man, they pulled it out. Whoa, there! They pulled it out. Steph, being Steph, come through in the Game 7. They were down in the first half, but in the second half, it was complete domination. Wiggins, he was great defensively, slowing them down. Draymond had an underrated series, despite him being benched for a couple games as well after his suspension. Shoot,
Don't
Steve
say it like
Kerr.
that. Don't say it like that.
What?
You're saying it with a
Like
negative connotation.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying it with negative connotation. I'm just trying to think of words to say about this team. I want to give a shout out to Steve Kerr as well. Great coaching throughout. He neutralized or at least slowed down both Monk and Fox because a lot of their regular season success this year was getting downhill and getting easy buckets around the paint. And with them going underneath the screens, they made them into jump shooters. And sometimes that strategy didn't work out well due to them both hitting their shots. But they played defense good enough in a lot of spurts to pull it out in 7. So yeah,
You're
man.
forgetting to give a shout out to one player.
Oh,
Trey Lyles. Great series. Great series from Trey Lyles. He was low-key their best big this series. As crazy as it is to say, but
Len played good minutes too when he played. Can't say the same about Sabonis though. Can't say the same about Sabonis.
Sabonis did not have a good series. Mainly because he was going against Kevon Rodman Looney. I know that's the new nickname
Looney's
for
a
him.
tough matchup.
He had another 20 rebound game yesterday.
Looney's a goon, man. Looney is a goon.
But Dibo, to be fair about your Warriors take about them being first round exits, I don't think it's as bad as people think, just because I don't think you were expecting Wiggins to come back. And Wiggins is such a big piece for that team.
Mm-hmm.
Wiggins is essential.
That's unsung hero right there. I mean, how long did he miss? I mean, he missed a lot.
2 months.
Yeah,
and he came back and he looked good.
Come back and he turned it on instantly.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest worries
into Wiggins that we know.
Yeah, sorry about that, but one of the biggest worries I had with the Wiggins coming back in was that how would he play in a postseason setting, especially on the road in the Sacramento Kings home court, especially having that long period of time when he was out without playing like high quality basketball. So he stood up to the challenge, man. He played great. So
sure did.
What can you say?
Shout out Wiggs.
Yeah.
Shout out Wiggs. What series do we want to move on to?
Wait, hold on. I also want to say something about the Sacramento Kings. I'm sure that a lot of people, everybody will say that, oh yeah, man, Sacramento Kings, man, great season, great return back to the playoffs. Y'all did well. Better luck next year. But I'm not the type of guy that believes in that, man. I felt like they really missed out on a big opportunity to shock the NBA world to make a statement.
Oh no, they'll be back next year. Come on.
But you could, I mean, looking at other teams that overachieved in the past, like when the Pacers, they took LeBron and the Cavs to a Game 7 in 2018. We were saying the same thing about the Pacers. Victor Oladipo, that squad, they'll be back, and they never were back in that same scenario. They were never that good.
Hold on. Can I rebuttal?
Yeah, you can.
My first one is I do think they'll be back because the core around the guys, or the core of the Sacramento Kings, are young. As I said, De'Aaron Fox, he had the second most points in a playoff debut. He's just entering his prime. You have Malik Monk, Terrence Davis, Davion Mitchell gave you good minutes this series. I wish he played more in the Game 7, but you also have Mike Brown, who's a great coach. So the players will continue to develop under him. Sabonis will be back. And we know, at least in the regular season, Sabonis is an all-NBA caliber player. So I think they'll be back. And I do think it is a great season for them. I just think that they were unlucky with seeding, because most of the time
100%.
when you're a 3 seed, you don't have to face the reigning champions, the 4-time champions in the last 6-7 years, with 3 Hall of Famers and a Hall of Fame coach. I just think that they ran into the worst opponent possible.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be worried about it. It's just it was unlucky. That's all it is. And they, even with that unlucky seeding, playing one of the hardest first round matchups that you could have, I mean, they still took it to 7 games. Like,
And I
for
also
the
think
first
this,
time in 17 years being in the playoffs, they still took the defending champs to 7 games.
and that's what I was going to say. I think that's a great point that Owen's making because we saw in another series we'll get to, the Knicks and my Cavs. The Cavs were by far, in my opinion, the more talented team, and yet they still lost just by sheer lack of playoff experience. In other series, the Brooklyn Nets got swept from lack of playoff experience, and we could say maybe talent. I'm trying to think of even the Grizzlies, right? The Grizzlies just have way less experience than LeBron and the Lakers. But for the Kings, most of their players were making their playoff debuts. Most of their players were getting the first lick of playoff experience. And to take the reigning champions to 7 is impressive. So I think they got to hold their heads up high.
Of course.
Right. And like you said, they took the reigning champs to 7, even with 3 of their starters, even Keegan Murray, the rookie, he didn't play good at the start of the series for like the first couple 2-3 games, and they still took him to 7. Which
Kevin Huerter was a no-show.
He was complete trash. Like
Red Velvet, where you at, bro?
I don't know the issue with shooters that do extremely well in the regular season, like shoot 40 plus from 3-pointer the whole regular season, and then when the lights are bright in the playoffs, they're complete bricks. They getting open looks even, and they not hitting. The shot's not hitting. I understand that, but as I was saying, right, the Kings, 3 of their starters played. They didn't play well. Sabonis, who has playoff experience with the Pacers, Harrison Barnes, he was on those 2015, that championship winning team, Golden State, and Kevin Huerter, who was on the Hawks when they made that deep run in the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years back. So, Matt, you say that the Kings don't got playoff experience, but 3 of those guys I mentioned who were a big part of their success, including Sabonis, who was their second best player, they all were complete. Like they're all complete no-shows. They were a non-factor. That's not a good sign to me. And for Sabonis, going back to him, he was poor, man. You can't. Sabonis is probably going to be on All NBA this year, 3rd or 2nd. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. But with the Warriors, right, they guard him like he was Ben Simmons. They were like, yeah, man, you can take that midi. You can take that 3. You can take that
Giving him the midi.
We'll give you that. And for the most part, Sabonis didn't take that. His head was completely turned from the rim at times. And I'm like, bro, I'm watching this stuff live. Like, dude, you were the second best player on this team, man. Be the guy you were 82 games before the series. I don't get it. And also, I like to say that in a Western Conference that had the Suns, they had a weird year. The Lakers had a weird year. The Warriors had a weird year, and the Mavs, they had a down year as well. The Kings, they're not gonna. Well, it's not a complete certain that they're going to be in a top 3 seed. They're going to be in a top position next year, and I'm not even including the Thunder, who are going to get better. They're going to get Chet back. The Mavs, they're gonna retool their roster too. They still got Luka and possibly Kyrie if they re-sign him, so that's a sign as well. And you still got teams like the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, who are top 2 in the Western Conference. So it's not a guarantee that they'll be ever back in this position again.
It's not a guarantee, but at the minimum, it's a success.
Nothing is, right?
And I don't think that you should take that away. I mean, I understand what you're saying, where 3 of their starters haven't, but I mean, Kevin Huerter and Sabonis were poor, and Harrison Barnes was barely getting double-digit minutes in that Game 7. I think he and in the Game 6 he played very few minutes. But I understand where you're going, Dibo, but here's where I defer: is that they showed so much promise, right? You lose Game 4 against the Warriors, 1 on a last-second shot by Harrison Barnes that rims out, right? So there you could have gone up 3-1, right? Then you go home for Game 5, and the Warriors take it. Everybody's expecting them to lose in 6 now. Warriors going back to the Chase Center, and what do they do? They shock the world, beat the Warriors by double digits at the Chase Center, something nobody gave them a chance to do. And they were up at half in Game 7 against the Warriors. So, they shocked the world. They competed against the reigning champions who they look poised to make another run. I know we'll probably get into the game that they played last night, but I mean, this is a good team that they played. So I understand where you're coming from, but I just think the season was a success.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Owen.
last point, though. Move on. And I think your worries about Sabonis should be a non-issue. I mean, the last time you talk about how he has playoff experience, yeah, but the last time he was in the playoffs, right? He was not the player he is now, right? I mean, you're asking so much more of him now than you were in 2018 when he was with the Pacers. That maybe he's just not ready for it yet. Give him one more season, and I think he'll be fine. He has another 82 games to develop, play under pressure, and I think that you'll be good with that.
Okay, and I'm gonna say my last point too. So the Kings, right? They had a successful season, first playoff appearance in like forever. What 03? When not 03. I think 2006, right? So 15 plus years before the season started was the last time they made the playoffs. Great season. Mike Brown wins Coach of the Year. De'Aaron Fox, Clutch Player of the Year. Great overall year. Okay. All right, cool. But in this series, right, they went 2-0 and they had to get 2 out of the remaining 5 series to advance to the second round. They didn't do that. When the series was tied at 2-2, it was a best of 3 scenario, which they had 2 home games to advance. They couldn't do that. They blew a 2-0 lead in this series, man. They choked. And I don't want to say that, but that's what it is. This is what it is, man. They choked. They had
I don't think it's a choke though. I don't think it's a choke though. Okay. Can I hold on? We do got to move on, but give me 1 second. They go up 2-0, right?
Yeah.
They take care of home court. I understand you're looking at it. Oh, they have to win 2 of the next 5. The Warriors just have to take care of home court though. At the end of the day, the Warriors have to take home court. They take care of home court in Game 3. Game 4, like I said, came down to the last possession where De'Aaron Fox gets double teamed, passes it out to Harrison Barnes. Good look from 3 to win the game, and it just rims out. You're barely losing to the Warriors at the Chase Center. And the Warriors, by the way, great home team. Then Game 5 happens. They lose at home, right? Oh, so we're all assuming that they're going to lose Game 6. They win Game 6, and then Game 7, Steph Curry has the best Game 7 game in history. I understand where you're coming from, but you have to understand they're playing 3 Hall of Famers and a Hall of Fame coach with miles of experience more than them.
And almost the entire team with no playoff experience. Yeah, that's what you're saying. It's ridiculous. Yeah, saying it's a choke, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, losing or winning the first 2 like the Suns did in the finals against the Bucks, and then losing the next 4. I mean, that's a choke, right? You can't be having that. But no, let's move on though. We've beat this topic to a pulp, but it just shows how good the series was, how much we've been talking about it.
That's true. Next matchup. Do y'all want to discuss Miami-Milwaukee? Talk about that for a minute.
The Bucks.
Sure. Tell me your thoughts on it, Dibo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first things first. I know Giannis. His post-game interview after they lost Game 5, he said, the season was a failure. He went on a little tangent. He was clearly frustrated too, which I completely understand as well. But in my opinion, man, you losing 5 as the 1 seed to an 8 seed, which before the series started, 5 times did that happen before in NBA history, where an 8 seed lost to a 1 in the first round, and you were one of those teams. You were one of the teams that lost to an 8 seed. Bro, I'm sorry, but that's a failure to me. So, in my opinion, that's a failure. It is a failure. And people can say, well, Giannis got hurt a couple games. Well, this, that, here, there. Man, look, this Heat team, before the postseason started, the general public, including us, we said that this Heat team is not good. They lost the 7th-seeded game to the Bulls, moved on to the 8th-seeded game. No, they lost the 7th-seeded game to – they did. They lost to the Hawks in the 7th-seeded game. They beat the Bulls in the 8th-seeded game to be in this position. we said that they didn't have a chance, they didn't have a shot. And for them to lose in five, that's the first time too that in a best of 7 series that the first seed to lose to an 8 seed, they lost in 5. The other times, the Spurs when they lost to the Grizzlies, the Bulls when they lost to the Sixers when D Rose got his ACL tear, the We Believe Warriors beating the Mavs, they took it to 6. The Bucks lost in 5 on their home court. Bro, that's a failure.
I don't know if I would call it a failure. I mean, sure, but what I'm more concerned with is them losing in 5, especially because like, yes, you can say it's on Giannis, but they blew multiple double-digit leads, I'm pretty sure they had, wasn't it like a 15 or 12-point lead in that game 5 that they lost? And
I think it was 12, yeah.
What was it, game 3 where Jimmy had 56, or was that game 4? I can't remember, but they were up 10. They were up 10 in the fourth quarter. Like, so they blew multiple double-digit point leads, and that's where I think the frustration has to come from.
Yeah, I think calling it a failure is a little much too, because that Milwaukee team is proven and tested to be a championship team, and they quite literally won it 2 years ago. Calling it a failure, I think, would be what you would call it if they hadn't won that championship, and now they're going on their like 4th season in a row being the 1 seed by far, having early round and playoff struggles. Maybe call that a failure, but I don't think you should call this a failure right now at all.
I think it's a disappointment.
Things happen. It's a disappointment for sure, but things happen. That's why you play the game. I mean, that's why Jimmy Butler waits to the playoffs, right? And, yeah.
I mean, they lost to Michael Jordan's son. Not much you could do.
Really?
Allegedly, Michael Jordan's son.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But for the Bucks, I mean, the offseason just got a lot more interesting. Obviously, I think it's either Chris Middleton only has 1 year left on his deal. So
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so and there's been teams rumored to be interested. It's rumored that the Bucks are looking at what to do with him. I thought that. Do you guys listen to Player's Choice, the podcast?
Yes, almost every day. Shout out to them guys, man. Shout out to OG taking them.
Yeah, I saw OG saying one thing, and it was that we have to start looking at Drew Holiday and really questioning whether he is the best perimeter defender in the league. And I thought that was a really good takeaway from the series, because I mean, Drew Holiday, you're getting the one-on-one assignments from Jimmy, and he's putting up. Jimmy Butler scored the most total points in the first round by any player, or maybe not total points because Steph Curry played 2 more games than him, but he had the most points per game. And so to give that up, where really no other players on the Heat were a threat, I think is a bit questionable. So I think they have a lot of offseason questions now, but I don't think it's a failure. I think it's a disappointment.
Yeah. Do we want to rattle off these other matchups real quick before getting into predictions?
Yeah, sure. Next one, also in the East, Cleveland, New York. I know Matt, he's giddy right now.
Please.
Matt giddy right now over that series, man.
Please. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Yeah, Matt, let's hear your thoughts on it since you're the
well, ask me a guided question. I obviously watched all 48 minutes of all 5 games. Please ask me a guided question and I can answer. And a sophisticated way.
Yeah. I'll go first. What was the biggest reason why the Knicks won this series?
Oh, effort. Simple as that. It was just effort. There's no reason why Mitchell Robinson should have been outplaying Jared Allen and Evan Mobley combined. It was just effort and experience. He played insane. He earned himself the new nickname, the Blockness Monster. A great nickname. Shout out Knicks Nation. But it was just effort, and it was playoff experience. Obviously, Jared Allen had the quote at the end of the series where he's like, the lights were too bright or whatever. I didn't expect the lights to be as bright as they were.
Bro, that's so funny, bro.
But it was that, and then it was the depth. Obviously, the Knicks had Josh Hart coming off the bench, playing like the best role player in the league. Miles McBride stepped in when Queen Grimes got injured, and he hit like timely threes and played great defense. Obi Toppin had a very good series. And on the flip side, for the Cavaliers, Jetty Osman was basically playing with a New York Knicks jersey. Isaac Okoro kept on getting reduced minutes throughout the playoffs. Ricky Rubio basically lost his minutes in the playoffs. So at the end of the day, it was really just playoff experience and depth, which makes the move of them buying out Kevin Love even more questionable to me. I just don't understand it.
Yeah,
I'll ask you this. Go
right.
for it, Dibo.
Yeah, about Kevin Love. Dude was having mad DMPs, coach decisions throughout the year. They was like, hey, man, we can't play you no more. Boop, get out of here. Which, in hindsight, it was a very poor move because you're seeing what he's been doing in the Miami, these playoffs. He's been great front court depth, been a great piece, giving you quality minutes. Which the Cavs, they definitely needed that in this series. Yeah, shoot.
A great quarterback with his full court passes, yeah.
Elite passing. But yeah, they needed Love win this series. Like Matt said, effort was a very crucial part and why the Knicks won it. Mitchell Robinson, he basically bitched around Jared Allen and Evan Mobley the whole series, which is very disappointing. Those two guys are all defensive caliber players, defensive caliber bigs, and for them to be almost complete non-factors on both sides of the ball, a very bad sign. Very, very bad sign for players of their level. So,
yeah, and then Matt, I'll ask you this before we move on. What do you think was the biggest key to holding Donovan Mitchell?
Team defense. It wasn't one person. I know Josh Hart got the assignment and he did a fantastic job, but it was one Tibbs. Tibbs obviously had a great game plan. I thought he outcoached JB Bickerstaff, but it was us blitzing off the screen. It was us sagging off the shooters and making Donovan Mitchell pass, making Donovan Mitchell have to be the playmaker and not the notorious shot taker that he is, where he's scoring 50 points notoriously in the playoffs. So I think it was just a good game plan all around, and it was doubling and tripling.
Shout out Coach Tibbs, man, coaching up a masterclass.
One of the defensive masterminds in the league.
Right. Shoot, Tibbs did coach his ass off. Also, one more thing about Cleveland. Heading into this offseason, man, a lot of questions to be said. Lots of questions, man. Most of their roster, their rotation, completely unplayable. Osman, Okoro, even guys like Mobley, Allen, where were they? And if you're Cleveland, man, with how this roster is structured, making the move to get D-Mitch in the offseason to make that next leap, for them to lose in the first round in this fashion, man, I don't know how they're gonna retool this roster. I do not know.
I think they're fine. I think that's it. Oh my God, Jaylen Brown was just yammed on him.
I literally just saw that.
Oh my God!
But, I literally just looked over like, holy.
But I think that's an overreaction only because one, it was the first time Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland got playoff experience. Like, so basically their entire starting core, Isaac Okoro too. So only Donovan Mitchell had playoff experience. It was JB Bickerstaff's first time being in the playoffs as a head coach. So he was a rookie coach going against Tibbs, a vet, come playoff time. I think that they have such a young core with such high potential that I think they do need to fix that bench. I 100% agree with you because their bench is disgusting. But I think they're a wing away. I do think Dylan Brooks might be that wing, just a dude who could just defend and sit in a corner and not do much more. But they need to figure out their depth. But as far as their main core, the four guys, I think they'll be much better next year.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Speaking of Dylan Brooks, do we want to talk about Lakers Grizzlies?
Sure.
A good series.
Sure.
A good series.
Thoughts on that? Thoughts?
Owen, I know LeBron is your GOAT. You can go first.
Oh yeah. No, it was just proven that the Lakers were the better rounded team and that Ja's not fine in the West. I mean, they came in. I mean, they're playing the 7th seed. Obviously, that's no average 7th seed, right? But it didn't look like they were playing Grizzlies basketball. And I mean, I hate to create these potentially false narratives, but do the Grizzlies actually play better without Ja? Like, if they were to run a full season, would they be doing better without Ja?
No,
It's an interesting
no,
question.
hell no.
It's not. They wouldn't be better without Ja. Like their ceiling is obviously lower without Ja because you're losing an MVP player.
Yeah.
But I think they'd still be a playoff team without Ja. I mean, obviously 2 years ago they went, what was it, like 22-2 when Tyus Jones was the
something
starter.
crazy, yeah.
But I got something to say. Dibo, I'll let you go, but I might have a hot take, so I want to save it.
Yeah, man. Grizzlies, their perimeter shooting, it really got exposed. The lack of Luke Kennard in the game decider really hurt them, especially early in the game when they went down a hole and they had the offense to come back from that deficit. Big men depth was also another issue. The loss of Steven Adams and Brandon Clark being out for the season, that really hurt them, especially when going up against a high caliber big like AD. Jaren Jackson is nice. He DPOY winner, but you gotta need more bodies to go up against AD, man. Man.
You guys ready for my hot take?
Well, let's hear
Sure,
it.
go on ahead.
Dylan Brooks is getting too much hate. Dylan Brooks is getting way too much hate at the moment. The fact what signs that this series was anybody's fault other than Dylan Brooks is a shame. The fact that I have not heard one Grizzly spokesperson or executive say, "Oh no, part of the reason why we're doing bad is because John Morant was waving a gun drunk at the club on IG Live, and he missed a month of the season, so we didn't get team chemistry and we didn't get to build towards the playoffs." Or saying I'm fine in the West, or the injuries to Steven Adams or Brandon Clark, like Dibo mentioned. Like the only thing I've heard come out of the Grizzlies organization is that under no circumstances are we bringing back Dylan Brooks, which I'm fine with. I'm actually a fan of. I think his time has ran the course. But for his name to be the only name associated with negatives in this Grizzlies organization is absurd to me.
Little bit of rebuttal here, but I do think the Grizzlies, they do Dylan under the bus after series was over. Having that info come out saying, we're not going to re-sign him under zero circumstances, that was a very poor move by their PR team, their organization as a whole. But you can't do that. If you truly believe that for a specific player, keep that an internal thing, man. Don't let the media know, especially with a guy like Dylan Brooks, because over the past couple months, he has been one of the main storylines in the whole league right now with his antics and how he moves, man. So for you to put that information out, that's gonna throw more stuff onto the fire. So I didn't like that. I do agree with Matt on that. But I feel like Dylan, he brought this onto himself, really. We can't ignore that.
I mean, yeah, we already had that kind of talk, Matt and I did at least, about how Dylan Brooks is an idiot. And I think everything I'd say here would just be me echoing myself, saying what I said earlier. And I think he brought it on himself for sure. I mean, you can't just go around saying stuff acting like it won't go unpunished.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, bro, LeBron's old. Oh man, I'll poke bears."
Bears.
Bro,
those goofy ass glasses on.
Bro, quick tangent, bro. Dylan Brooks, bro. Please stop wearing vests and sweaters with no undershirt. That irks me. That irritates me. Please stop doing that. You look mad goofy. Let me be honest with you. But let me continue. But saying all the wild stuff to the media, and then during the series when Memphis lost, not even talking with the media after, ignoring everybody after what you said, the actions you've made. No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Did you see what Dame said? What Dame tweeted?
What did Dame tweet?
Dame was like, "You can't be him one day and then have an identity crisis the next day."
No, and he's completely right. And so you can't just say random BS that you want to say and then just back out from it like a coward. You can't do that. Now the organization and players like Ja, Jaren Jackson, they gotta defend you for what you said because you're not there to defend yourself.
No, you're 100% right on the Dylan Brooks thing. One, like the bold statements, the pushing the cameraman, hitting Donovan Mitchell and LeBron in the groin, like it's all built up to this.
Never hit a man in
And
family
it's
jewels
really
area,
easy
man.
for Dylan Brooks to talk when he has big brother John, big brother Jaren Jackson Jr. behind him and helping him out. But like, I do agree with you, Dibo. Like, I just thought it was so weird for them to say like under zero circumstances because I feel like in all our time watching basketball, we've never seen that before. Because we'll
No.
typically see teams be like, oh, they've decided to part ways or they've decided they're not going to re-sign him. We've never heard like under zero circumstances in such a short time period.
No, and he never got in trouble too. So basically, what Memphis said that, because you're both annoying and trash at what you do, trash at your job, we will not we're not gonna resign you. Get out, get out, get out. Take your jersey and get out. Take all your stuff and leave. That's what they basically said.
Well, I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate here. I think under a couple circumstances, what Memphis did was actually good for the organization. I mean, we saw in the last few months that Memphis became the most hated team in the league, and it's not even close. But I think that them doing that, I think that they saw it as a potential way to clear their name. Like, we don't want to associate with this guy that's putting a bad omen over us. But that's about it. That's all I can
That's
do.
my argument. That's my argument, though, is that like I said I agree with them parting ways with Dylan Brooks, but they did no disciplinary actions to Ja. They did nothing to Ja. Ja had the incident with the 13-year-old where it came out he punched him, yada yada yada, and nothing happened. And like a week later, Ja did the thing on IG Live. Nothing happened. No disciplinary. Ja got suspended by the league indefinitely, but the Grizzlies did nothing. They like helped him out. They put him in a program, which I thought was the right thing, but they never said, "Hey, we're gonna suspend him from the team." But like Dylan Brooks, he made some corny statements at the end of the day, and like they're treating it worse than what anybody else has done.
Oh, I think what he did to the cameraman's worse than anything that came out about.
Well, they didn't even the Grizzlies didn't even care about that.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. I mean, you're just that dude was trying to do his job. I mean,
Yeah.
he's there just doing his job. Whereas, I mean, he's not like genetically blessed like Dylan Brooks is to play in the league, but he's there, right? And you're gonna. I mean, he was hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do that and then not care for him after? Like, what does that show you about who Dylan Brooks is? And then especially doubling down on it and making the comments about it, like, "Oh, it's just 260K." Like,
No,
that
he's
pisses
public
me off.
enemy number one.
Yeah, and that's why I think Memphis decided to come out with such a bold statement to hopefully clear their name a little bit.
Does Memphis have a culture problem? Dare I say?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we're in the right place to speculate.
I mean, if you for me, if you had a culture problem, you would both have serious issues in the organization and be complete trash like Houston, which
that's true.
And with Memphis, we don't see that. Like, they're a very successful team, finished top 3 in the West for 2 straight years, man. So I don't think they have a culture problem. They just need to do some soul searching in the offseason. That's all. So
yeah, but I mean, I talked about the Grizzlies having the most uncertain offseason. I think, the Bucks having an uncertain offseason. I think the Grizzlies have one of the more uncertain off seasons. Just with, like Dibo mentioned, like this team has been a top 2 seed or a top. Were they 2 last year? They were 2, right? Or no?
They were 2.
Or were they 3? So a top 2 seed.
2.
I think 2.
Back-to-back years, and they haven't even made a conference finals run. They've got worse if you want to look at how far they've made it in the playoffs. Back-to-back years, and it's like, when can this next core take that step?
Yeah, who knows, man? hopefully sometime soon
Hopefully for them.
before they gotta let down Memphis again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot. I think that's all of the important first round series
Hold
we
on.
could talk about.
We're not talking about Celtics Hawks?
Do you want to say something?
I thought the Celtics didn't look good.
I did too. I did too.
Is that why you were ducking it?
Oh no! I just wanted to.
That smirk on your face says otherwise.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. It's completely fine, man. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just proven Trae Young's going to get a couple games, right? I think that's really all it is. I don't think much more needs to be said. He's a great player.
Trae Young beat the fraud allegations, had good numbers the whole series. Celtics were just a better team, even though they bigs got cooked. Second half of the series defensively, Allen Robb. So, hey man, but we moved though. We moved. We won in 6.
John Collins beat the fraud allegations or no?
No, he's leaving. He has to leave.
That marriage has sailed. That ship has sailed. I do agree.
It should have been over like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
He has to leave.
Yep. It should have been over 3 years ago when he was first in trade talks, but that front office is so unwilling to make a good move.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
All right, so what? Second round previews now?
Yeah. So which series do we want to start off with?
Let's start with the Nuggets then. Let's start with the Nuggets Suns because we haven't talked about Owen's team yet.
Do we have to?
Okay, Dibo.
I'm kidding.
Okay, Dibo.
I'm kidding.
I mean, the Nuggets and Suns both winning super early allowed them to get 2 games in before any other team really could get in their first game. Or right around they're getting in their first game. But yeah, so the Nuggets are up 2-0. And I think seeing that has changed my prediction. I was going for Nuggets in 7, now I'm saying Nuggets in 6. We've seen that. It's the Suns just their lack of defense and depth is showing at an alarming level.
Hold on. I want to add on to what Owen said about that lack of depth. Do you guys know how many bench points the Phoenix Suns scored in game 2?
Is it less than
Let's
10?
play higher or lower. Take a guess.
My fault.
Well, do you know how higher or lower works? Are you going to say let's play higher or lower and then say take a guess?
Higher or lower? Like say the number of bench points that they scored and I'll say whether it was higher or lower.
6.
Oh, okay.
Lower.
Oh, really? So they scored. Did they score like 3?
Higher.
4.
5.
Yep. 4.
Oh, 4. Yeah. That's
4.
ridiculous, man.
Horrible.
You can't have that on a contending team.
Horrible. You can't. And that's why, although our group chat did not like it very much because our group chat is built of Nuggets haters, thanks in part to Mr. Meyer himself.
Okay.
But I took the Nuggets for one of 2 reasons. One, the depth. We talked about that. But 2, just the simple math equation. The fact that the Suns have 3 mid-range killers in KD, D-Book, and Chris Paul, but the Nuggets just shoot way more threes. And at the end of the day, it's just a simple math equation. Because in games 1 and 2, I think Phoenix shot like 50% from the field. Or at least I know in game 1 they shot 50%. Game 2 is probably close.
55. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're shooting good from the field, and yet they're still losing. And they got blown out in game 1. Game 2 was not as much of a blowout, but that's just because Jamal and MPJ couldn't hit a single shot.
They really couldn't.
It's just like if they're playing this efficient and they're still losing like this, that's where I'm worried.
Yeah, I mean, with game 2, it's like the Nuggets. I mean, maybe it's early to say, but it's like the Nuggets took Phoenix's best punch and still won, right? Like, and that was like with the Nuggets playing poorly. I mean, Jokic played well, but who else did? Not really anyone.
KCP.
Yeah, okay, KCP. He went 4
That's
for 4.
it.
I gotta put some respect on KC3's name.
KCP won that game, low-key.
He really did. But yeah,
They
I
laid
mean,
down the stretch.
the Nuggets, they played great defense. They're showing their offensive rebounding is helping them out a lot. Suns just can't rebound with the Nuggets. But I don't know what needs to be said more about it, other than the Nuggets have just looked like by far the better team so far. But who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
No, I agree. DeAndre Ayton is no match for Nikola Jokic, and we were all worried about the Nuggets defense in this series. Like, oh my God, KD, Devin Booker, CP, and I mean, hey, even Josh Okogie might have a game. Like, how are the Nuggets going to stop this team? And for them to put up, have they even put up 100 points yet in the series? I know they had.
They put
107,
I think, in the first game.
Okay,
that's right.
Which a lot of them were garbage baskets. Shout out Ish Wainwright, hit a 3.
He really did too.
He did. But like to put up 87 points in a playoff game, like, is ridiculous when you have that kind of talent on your roster.
For sure. I mean, and you got to give a little credit to the Nuggets defense. Everyone was doubting.
You got to applaud that.
Yeah, everyone was doubting. They're like, "Oh, the Nuggets! It's this offensive weapon. The entire Nuggets offense is it's a force to be reckoned with. But how can they do on defense?" And we've seen this playoffs. I mean, the guys are motivated. They're willing to do whatever needs to be done on the defensive end in order to make sure they score more points than their team.
Dare I say the team in Mile High is the favorite right now?
No, I got Lakers.
Okay.
Hater.
How am I a hater?
No, that's fine. It's fine. That's fine, Dibo.
Dibo, are you still taking the Suns or no?
Oh, hell no, bro. Hell no. Bro. Hell no. Wait, you telling me no? No, they need to win like what? If I can do math, they need to win 4 out of the next 5 games to beat this Nuggets team. No, it's not happening.
Warriors
again. The Warriors got way much. They got much more depth in Phoenix. They got way better. They got way better coaching and depth in Golden State than Phoenix. Bro, that Phoenix bench is horrible, man. Phoenix bench is horrible. What? We got Terrence Ross. Okay, he can score, but at the same time, he's going to get burnt. He's going to get cooked, too. So, yeah. I don't know about that.
He's not even getting PT.
No, TJ Warren, same thing as Terrence Ross. He can score, but he's going to get cooked, too, defensively. Damian Lee. Who else? Cameron Payne. He has to play starter minutes. He hasn't been good since 2020-21 season.
Let's not forget Chris Paul is going to be out for a week.
Yeah, games 3 through 5 they said already.
It was a hamstring injury, right?
Groin.
Groin.
It's groin.
His groin's cooked he's gonna get reevaluated in a week. So they don't even have their third best player right now on a team that lacks depth.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to say this: reevaluated does not mean he's coming back.
Yeah.
Reevaluated does not mean he's a sure thing to come back. Reevaluated most likely means they're going to look at him and it's still probably going to be iffy, and he'll either be a game time decision or he'll be ruled out.
Yeah. So his groin's basically cooked. So he might even miss an extended period amount of time too as well. So
it's just more fuel to the fire, right? Like the Nuggets are just chugging along. Now that Chris Paul's hurt, it's like, oh, we go to Phoenix, but their playmakers out. And dare I say they need that playmaking, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I was about to hit on next is that the game plan. Like, I understand Devin Booker had the extreme hot hand, averaging 37 in the first round, and then how did he do in game 1? I wasn't able to watch game 1. I know he had 35 in game 2, and an efficient 35 in game 2, but
he had 28, I believe, in game 1.
Okay, so he's still doing his thing, but it's like, why are we not getting KD easier looks? Like, KD is one of the elite shot makers in history, and it's like you have the point guard. You have a good screen setter because Ayton won't do much other than set screens now. And it's like you could free up KD, and it's just like Monty Williams won't draw up the plays.
Yeah, that's on Monty for sure. I mean, everyone. I think allegations of KD's not KD anymore. KD's washed. I think that's dumb. I just think that he's not getting the ball enough in his hands.
No, nobody's saying he's washed, but
Oh.
he hasn't looked as good. He hasn't looked as good. KD shooting 10 of 27 is not KD numbers.
Hey, shout out the Nuggets defense, man.
That's fair. That's fair. But KD's gone against generational defenses before.
Yeah,
that's
for
never
sure.
stopped him.
For sure.
That's never stopped him. So to me, it's one of two things. One, KD's not hitting some of the shots. I expect those to go down. And two, he's not getting good looks because they're not playmaking and they're not setting up plays for him. It's like KD has to get in. He has to create it himself, which I'm not a fan of. I'm a fan of KD just getting on the low block, turning and shooting because nobody's contesting a 7-footer like him.
Yeah, no question. All right, Dibo, you want to move on to that Lakers series because they're your favorite out the West? Oh, Dibo.
Oh, yeah. What you just say? My mom just came in.
Oh, good, bro. Yeah, I said let's move on to the Lakers series. Let's hear your thoughts about them being the favorite out the West.
About the Lake Show?
The Lake Show.
Yeah, what team got Bron and AD on it? what team got Bron and AD on it?
Hey, man, they got to get through Stephen Curry first.
I think they'll be Golden State. We're not worried.
Okay.
We're not worried at all.
Why did all that apologizing just to bet against 30 again?
For real.
I have a good reason this time. I have a very good reason.
Lakers aren't a bad pick in this series. No.
I mean, yeah, we see they just stole one at Chase Center. I mean,
they stole one where the Warriors had 3 players hit 6 threes.
Yeah,
they hit 21 threes, right? The Warriors.
Yeah, but that was about it, though. I mean, you watch that game; they were only shooting threes. Like it was getting painful at times. It was getting painful.
I have to ask the question. Most in-topic question right now. Should Jordan Poole have taken the shot?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Bro, there were still, what, around 10, 11 seconds on that clock. And you shoot that? I really felt like they could have gotten a better shot. Stepped up.
Yeah. At the very least, he could have taken a step in, man.
Yeah, there was no contest either. You got it. I feel like he had enough time to at least step in, like Owen said, and hit his regular shooting position where he's comfortable hitting those shots. But he didn't, and the Warriors are down on 1.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been saying for a long time now that this emergence of Jordan Poole as this shooter offensive threat is just a result of Steve Kerr pumping him with confidence. I mean, he's
not the baddest court side.
Okay, but no, Steve Kerr's just looking at him and be like, "Hey, you got the shot, shoot it." And he's almost pumped him with too much now that he's thinking that that's a good shot. So I mean, you see the positives. Jordan Poole. I mean, he's had great games. He's been dare I say even an elite scorer at times. But now you're seeing the negatives of it, of him thinking that that's a shot that he can make with 8 seconds left.
I'm indifferent on the shot. Last night I said, I was like, what the fuck was Jordan Poole thinking? Instant reaction. I was like, what the hell was that? But the more I heard Draymond Green talk about it today, I heard the Tyrese Halliburton clip. I think he should have stepped in, but I don't think it's as bad as a shot as people are thinking. Just from 2 aspects. One, he was 6 of 10 on the game. And most of the time, if you have a guy who Jordan Poole's a 3-point shooter, if you have a 3-point shooter who's shooting 60%, you're okay with taking that shot. And 2, I'm okay with it because it was late in the game. They were down by 3, and it's an open 3-pointer. That's the only reason I was okay with it. The thing I hated was how fucking deep it was. Take a step in, bro. That's what he needed to do. He needed to take a step in.
It's not I'm not looking at it as Jordan Poole shouldn't be the one taking that last shot. Obviously, Steph's going to be a better answer, but if Steph's not open, Jordan Poole, you're not going to hate him getting a look for game. But I do want to talk about that podcast you brought up with Tyrese Halliburton, dude. That was one of the hardest I've laughed in a while. He was like, "I would have taken that shot," and then whoever it was like, "Yeah, that's why you're not in the playoffs." Bro, that made me laugh so hard.
Roasted him too hard.
Yeah, you really did too.
And
But yeah, no,
Shank
that was
for an
funny.
asshole for that, bro.
Hey, is he
Yeah.
wrong though? No, play.
The Channing Frye's was only in the playoffs because he was teammates with Braun. It's the only reason he got a ring. Only reason.
Yeah.
But Halliburton will be there next year. I have my predictions.
I don't hate that take.
Halliburton
said,
will be there next year.
I'm gonna go Warriors in 7 on the series.
Oh,
I think they change up the game plan and start taking a little bit less threes. I think they'll be good. I mean, the free throw differential is crazy, but that's not on the refs' part. That's just them simply not driving.
Yeah.
They weren't putting themselves in the position to get free throws. I mean, I think they start doing that, and the free throw differential is not going to be the same. There you go. They make some more free throws, and it's going to be a closer game, potentially with the Warriors winning. Hopefully, with the Warriors winning, so my take will be right. But who knows?
I almost don't want to say who I want to win because the second I make a pick, it's like I have to root for somebody. And I've stated multiple times in our group chat, I don't want to root for somebody this series. I just want to respect greatness. So I'm gonna take the moral high ground and not make my pick. But I'm gonna say it's a 7-game series.
What? You're not even gonna pick a winner?
All right, fine. I got the Golden State Lakers.
Man,
okay, buddy.
Over. What? You don't like that pick?
History sides with Curry.
History does side with Curry, but also sides with LeBron when he has help. No, if I had it, I don't even want to say. But I do think it is a 7-game series. Let me take my moral high ground. Because you know the second that this podcast comes out, Danny's gonna skip exactly to our Warriors.
He for sure is.
Which is fair. Which is very fair.
And he's gonna say, "Oh, Matt picked this team, so he's rooting for them." Which I have my prediction on who's gonna win, but it doesn't mean I'm rooting for them. Because
so you can say your prediction. I mean, you can say your prediction, not root for them.
Warriors in 7.
Yeah. I mean, that's all the entire last season. I mean, I knew the Nuggets were going to get walked by the Warriors. Like, that's just no question. But
it's different.
It's
different because you can pick. Well, you can always pick teams, but it's like usually most times in series, I'm going for a team. I mean, I go for the team where I like more players than the other team where I don't like as many players. But this is a series where I love like players on both sides of the ball. Like Austin Reeves gives white boy swagger, so I have to root for him. LeBron is obviously my GOAT. AD is one of my favorite defenders in the league. And then on the flip side, you have Draymond. We know how much I like Draymond. Listen to his show frequently. Steph is Steph. Clay is Clay. And I'm a big fan of Kirk.
Hey, man, don't forget about Andrew
and Wiggins.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good time. You can get a few here and there.
Great minds think alike.
That's right. Dibo, let's hear your prediction.
He said Lakers.
But
Lakers in 6.
In 6? Oh, okay.
Lakers in 6. If it goes 7, I won't be surprised at all. These two teams, their strengths and weaknesses both benefit each other while also giving each other holes to exploit, to strategize against. But I feel like with the Lakers, their front court depth in both Vanderbilt and AD going up against the rebounding of Looney, that can limit the Warriors getting second chance opportunities around the perimeter and also denying easy buckets at the rim, which the Warriors, they aren't the greatest team to go inside and to get buckets in there. They're mainly a jump shooting team as well. So I feel like with my reasoning there, I got the Lakers to take it.
You're a criminal for not wanting this.
It's gonna be a great series regardless, man.
For picking 6, you got to pick 7 just out of hope that this series goes 7 games.
I hope it goes 7-2. This is a generational series. This is the last
100%.
dance of both LeBron and Curry, man.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
likely.
We're just witnessing it. Two of the greatest players of our generation, basically, just going at it for the
No.
last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will make a quick comment on that, and then we can move on. Dude, when I saw that tip-off last night, when I tuned in and saw the tip-off, it gave me the biggest deja vu, and it was amazing. It took me right back to the Cavs Warriors battles, and I was almost seeing Cavs jerseys. It was that good.
The unfortunate part is that the Warriors fans aren't hating like LeBron like they used to. They're not going as crazy as they used to.
We got a lot of. No, I won't say that.
But
kind of.
no. There's like it's like almost like a too much respecting at this point.
Except
But
with the Curry and LeBron stands, but yeah, I see.
Do we want to move on to the East series now?
Yeah, the less the less important ones.
For
But hey,
real.
let's get to it.
Which one we want to start? You want to start with my team or your team, Dibo?
Start with yours.
Nah, let's start with yours. Considering you guys, we're deeper into the series than you.
All right then.
Yeah, that's what I like. Who you taking?
Despite us choking the opening game due to James Harden masterclass, I still got us winning in 6 games.
I don't hate that.
I got Celtics in 6 too.
I got Celtics in 6, and that's because with Embiid playing, you guys just play better against Embiid.
The pace slows down. That's why.
Yeah, you play better against Embiid. I think I like the matchup. Obviously, you're not going to stop Embiid. You can just hope to limit him. But I like the matchup of Rob Williams on him. I think that's good. I think he'll do a decent job enough to hold him just enough where the Sixers will unfortunately be another second round exit.
Did Tyrese Maxey get hurt or something? I felt like I saw something.
He got banged up a little, but I think he's still playing game 2 right now. So.
Yeah, I think I'm looking over.
I did see him playing.
Yeah.
Because if they lost Tyrese Maxey, that would have been a huge loss. Huge loss. But I got Celtics too. It just felt like everything had to go right, from Malcolm Brogdon purposely passing the ball to Tyrese Maxey as the shot clock expired, to James Harden having.
That was so fake.
I think that was James Harden's first. That was James Harden's first 40-point game since becoming a 76er. Fun fact. I read that earlier today. So it was like everything had to go right for the Sixers, and they did. And they were able to steal game 1. Obviously, that's all you want to do when you're playing on the road, just steal a game. But I still got Celtics in 6. Just the wing ability, the defense, the three-point shooting, Missoula ball, Doc Rivers coaching the other team.
Yeah.
Take Celtics.
Always bet against Doc Rivers, right?
He ain't cooking up anything.
He really is. The Doc Rivers era is over, man. But it's really not yet. We'll see.
Hopefully it's over after this series.
Doc Rivers winning the Celtics another series?
Winning this.
What a great Celtics Hall of Fame coach.
Great way to end off his Philly tenure with the Celtics loss. I would love it. That would be a great script.
Is he out? Is he 100% out if they lose this season?
Yes. He's
gone.
Probably. Get him out of there.
Probably.
To be honest, he should have been fired after the Hawks series, but
Oh well.
After the Hawks. Interesting. They couldn't fire him. Because Ben Simmons was a scapegoat. It was one or the other.
Bro, they were the clear favorite to win that series too when they choked it.
They were. No, he should have been out a while ago, though. I agree. He should have been out for sure last year after they lost to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they gave him that leniency because Embiid, he missed time too. He missed a lot of time in that series against Miami. So their front office is like, hey man, Embiid, It happened, man. So we gonna run it. We gonna run it back with you. We gonna run it back.
Yeah, Matisse Thybulle. They blamed a lot of that loss on Matisse Thybulle. I remember he's getting booze coming out this season early.
Wait, which game though?
No, I'm saying like Matisse Thybulle when the season started this year, like he was getting booze when he would check into the game because he just was like, well, one, who had home court advantage that series? It was, didn't the Sixers have home court advantage?
Yeah.
So it was like game 1 or 2. Danny Green was getting, or I think it was game 2. Danny Green was getting way more minutes than Matisse Thybulle because Matisse Thybulle couldn't hit a shot, and Danny Green was hitting every shot. And like after game 2, nobody in the Sixers stands wanted to see Matisse Thybulle again. And you know for a fact, after one bad performance in the playoffs, Philly fans will boo you. Happened to JJ Redick.
100%.
100% happened to Ben Simmons. We all know that. Happened to Matisse Thybulle. It'll be interesting to see who it happens to this year. Very interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, PJ Tucker's not a caliber of player I would think that they would do it to, considering he just put up a zero field goal attempts in 38 minutes. It could be James Harden or Tyrese Maxey, somebody at that level.
Yeah. Celtics in 6. That's all I gotta say. All right. Now let's move on. Let's hear about your Knicks again.
New York Knickerbockers.
No problem.
There might be a little bit of danger.
Here's the problem, and here's why when you guys were saying like Knicks in 6, when the series before the series started, I wasn't insanely high on that. Was only because it's going to be a defensive series. Like I understand we handled the business against the Cavs, but we beat the Cavs because of our defense. We held them to like under 100 points for 3 games in a row, but we shot like 35% from the field that series, which is not good. And to try to get away with that against the Heat, who if you're having a defense off or trying to out defend a team, you don't want to do it against Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra in the Miami Heat. Like that's just a bad game plan to try to out defense the Heat. So that's where I was a bit concerned. Obviously, game 2 was a must win in thanks to Brunson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Randall, everybody basically except Mitchell Robinson. We won, but I'm worried, man. I can't lie. I'm worried. I mean, I'm taking Knicks in 7. I know it's hard to bet a game 7 against Jimmy Butler, but I'm a daredevil. Call me crazy.
I don't hate it. I'll go Knicks in 7 as well. I'll change it from Knicks in 6 to Knicks in 7 after seeing what that first game entailed. But I think you're discrediting Cleveland's defense, Matt, to holding you guys to 35%.
No. Their defense was very good. But what I'm saying is New York can win a defensive series against Cleveland because, they have 4 starters making rookie appearances or debut appearances in the playoffs with a rookie head coach. Like with the Heat, it's a completely different thing because you have playoff Jimmy, you have all their veteran leadership with Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, even Kevin Love, and then you have a Hall of Fame coach with Eric Spoelstra. So I mean, like I understand what you're saying, but it's just like to try to play the defense game against the Miami Heat's not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I'm just saying I think you guys will probably play offense a little bit better than you did against, even though Miami's defense is going to ultimately show to be better. I think the yips are out of the way. I think you guys will be doing just fine on offense.
Can I say one narrative I absolutely hate? Can I say one narrative I absolutely hate?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Game 1, when the Heat win, all I hear from ESPN, from you guys is, oh my God, the Knicks are horrible. Like the Knicks are going to blow this to the Heat. The Heat are going to do it again. And it's like, we had Julius Randle missing. Nobody wants to talk about that. Then this game happens, right? When we're healthy and Jimmy Butler's out, and all I hear, it doesn't count. Jimmy Butler's out. He'll be back. Ha 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 ha. Like it's
from wait, from where though? First take? From where? Where are you hearing that from?
Mr. Elliott himself. And then
I never
He doesn't
said that
count.
though, Matt.
Ty doesn't count.
I'm gonna defend myself.
Fair.
I never said anything
Fair.
like that.
Not First Take, but just like ESPN when they were posting the Jimmy laugh when Jimmy was smiling, like with 5 seconds left when the game was wrapped up.
Bro, man, that's a social media thing, bro. You just trying to play the victim here, bro.
No. Okay,
I'm familiar with your game.
Hold on. Well, first of all, I'm not Dylan Brooks. I don't play the victim.
Okay.
But two, tell me this then. How come only the two posts that ESPN posted from game 2? Any guesses? You know one of them. It's Jimmy Butler smiling. You know the other post?
Well, yeah.
What?
No.
Oh.
I was waiting for you to say.
It was when Caleb Martin hit the rim, but they called an air ball, and then Gabe Vincent put it up. Spo should have challenged it. I thought it hit the rim in the moment. You know which play I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
So those were the only two posts. Funny. The Knicks play great ball, win the game, and no post, no post about that 4-point play, nothing. But the Heat win game 1, and all I'm seeing is Jimmy Butler highlights.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's no secret ESPN's full of narratives. Like, the one false narrative by Kendrick Perkins could have potentially even swung the MVP, right? Like, that was when everything started changing in the MVP race after he said that. He made his comments, but
made his comments about what though?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
About Embiid ducking the smoke, or which ones?
I shouldn't.
The one
need to
JJ
say
Redick
that.
called him out for.
Oh,
those comments.
Perkins was a race baiting. Yeah, he was race baiting Jokic.
Yeah, and it seemed as ever since those comments were made, it seemed as if everything just went away from Jokic. I mean, and that's fine, but I'm just saying I see where Matt's coming from with the false narrative thing, and I'll give you credit. I think that was a good take, Matt.
Yeah. All I'm saying is just the Knicks weren't healthy in game 1. The Heat weren't healthy in game 2. So it's like we're trying to make this prediction, and we haven't even seen two healthy teams play each other. And that's the worst part.
For sure. It's a series to be on the lookout for like, no doubt.
But either way, the private story is coming true this year. I know you guys know what the private story title is. It's coming true this year.
Is it? No?
We'll see. Gotta get past us, little bro.
Not the Nuggets have anything to say about that.
Get past the Sixers.
That's not happening. Yeah, we will try getting past the Heat. I got Heat in 7. I ain't saying a prediction, but I got Heat in 7. Miami gonna pull it out in 7.
All right.
He culture. Yo.
You can't be exposing man like that.
Right when I said my prediction, bro. Man
he had that locked.
If you take a personal shot at me, like taking the Heat, I have to do it back.
He had that locked and loaded, dude.
Bro, he was waiting to use that too. He just pulled it up too from his phone. Oh, this is my phone. You got the wallpaper. Nice wallpaper.
What is that?
But it's Nas, bro. This is cool.
I can't see. It's got focus.
The reflections are kind of tough.
Let me.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
but continue.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it started to clear up at the end.
Yeah, man. But he in 7. Even though Jimmy's ankle is not ideal, not 100%, he got to be filled up with perks and horse tranquilizer, allegedly.
Give him a couple drugs, and he'll be good.
Yeah, that good stuff. But with that aside, they got the better coach, Eric Spoelstra. We've already seen his coaching genius in the series so far. Stuff like forming a wall when limiting Brunson, his opportunities to get his floaters, his paint chances.
Zoning us.
Zoning, yeah. The zone has been working well. Even at the end of game 1 when Jimmy was a decoy, switching every time the Knicks wanted to go pick and roll. Every time, too. Every single time for the Knicks to not cook Jimmy with his bad ankle. And just stuff like that, little things like that. And I think with Eric Spoelstra, his elite in-game management, and with Jimmy being the player that he is, the superstar that he is in the playoffs, I got the Heat pulling this one off again and being in the conference finals again.
As an 8th seed is crazy, man.
Anything can happen.
I don't hate it, but I hate what Adam Silver's doing with the scheduling. For us to play yesterday on a Tuesday and Game 3 not to happen until Saturday.
I mean, you saw it. I mean, the Nuggets game is on Monday, and then we had break till Friday. It's just to let the other teams catch up.
That's 3 days, though. This is 4.
Basically what it is.
But
No, it's
don't
no
know.
different. The fuck?
Oh no! I know why. He's scared that Jimmy Butler.
No,
Jimmy
that's
Butler's
100%. No, that's 100% not true.
that's
You know
what
why I
I'm
know
getting
it's not
from
true?
you.
You know why I know it's not true? Because Julius Randle's on a weak ankle and he's going to be well rested. He's going to be much better by the time that happens. Jalen Brunson was a game time decision. He'll be much better by Saturday. Mitchell Robinson has a hip problem. That's the reason he's playing bad. I'm convinced. He'll be better. Josh Hart sprained his ankle. He'll be better. So, like, the Knicks have more to gain than the Heat, like, because the Heat, really the only injured player is Jimmy Butler. Obviously, we know Tyler Hero is basically done for the year. So the Heat have more to gain. So that was a false narrative, Dibo. Did not work out.
Okay.
But I want Jimmy to play. I want Jimmy to play.
You caught me. I've been caught red-handed.
I want Jimmy to play for one of two reasons. One, he needs his revenge on Tibbs. Or at least I want to see that battle. Whether Tibbs gets his revenge or Jimmy gets his revenge, they both have said some words. I remember on the JJ Redick podcast that when Jimmy Butler was on, he was saying like how Tibbs almost kind of ruined his life and he didn't really enjoy playing basketball for a period of time, which is a common theme under Tibbs, even though I do like him. But I also want Jimmy to play just like so I understand how good my team is. Like I still have a ton of questions about my team. One question that seems to get to be getting answered as the postseason progresses is RJ Barrett. Obviously, since I said the stuff about him maybe not being on the Knicks, he has completely done a 180 and looked like an intriguing piece, like a valuable young player, like a really, really good player. But, I mean, if Jimmy Butler is healthy and then we lose 3 games in a row, then it's like, oh, we have a clear direction where we need to go in this offseason. But if Jimmy's out and we win in 6, or if Jimmy's out and we win in 7, it's like, what do we do now? So Jimmy needs to play, though. Jimmy needs to play. Playoff Jimmy's a special sight. Dibo knows.
He is, too. That's foul, Matt. Taking a shot.
Hey, we went to the finals last year. They didn't. We move. Don't matter. We gonna do the same thing again this year. Don't matter.
What happened in the bubble?
Okay, they lost the chip.
You lost the chip.
Y'all did too.
Hey, but okay, then it's fair. Even it's even squared.
Oh, all right. So I want to say this though, real quick. Something I saw on Instagram earlier today was like something like notice how the teams in the bubble are the teams that are being successful this season now that they're all healthy. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
No, I agree because coming off the bubble, it was a shortened offseason. So a lot of those same teams, especially the Heat and the Lakers, who were playing the longest and who went the furthest into the postseason, they both struggle with injuries. LeBron and AD obviously were hurt, and then Jimmy, Bam, Kyle Lowry obviously struggle with injuries. So now that they had a full offseason to recover, and you can see the effects of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been defending that the bubble is not a fluke since it ended, and I think now we're seeing that become true.
It's not Humble Murray, it's healthy
Murray. That's right. But I think you can make the argument that it's like, oh, they're not the same teams. Like, obviously, there's pieces gonna be different. Like the teams, you're not gonna have the exact same rosters you did 3 years ago, but the core pieces that made the team successful are the same. And I don't think it needs to be, I don't think there needs to be any more elaboration on that.
Yeah, because Nuggets are healthy now. They haven't really been healthy since the bubble, with Jamal Murray and MPJ continuously being out.
Yeah, and then I mean they went to the Western Conference Finals, right? Well, so obviously they got beaten 5, but definitely a better team now with all the same core pieces. But yeah, just an interesting thing to keep in mind. All the bubble doubters.
Oh, by the way, we hit 1 million on that TikTok of the Georgia player. It was a 7-second clip, very quick clip to get us to 1 million. Dibo, do you want to repeat what he said?
Nah.
Bro,
I'm good.
Wait, what are we talking
about? You don't follow our TikTok, Owen?
I don't have TikTok.
I don't have TikTok either, but I have I can look it up on my laptop. And I just saw currently it is at 1.1 million views.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
No, I texted Dibo this today. I was like, because I usually look at like where we're at on like platforms before I go to bed or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, you posted on this.
And like last night I looked, and on like TikTok we were at like 440 followers, and right now we're at 718, like in a day. So shout out to the fans. That's real love right there.
That's right.
But like real talk though, to the Georgia player that said that on that IG live, yeah, I get that he's like what 17, 18. He's our age, but at the same time, bro, you gotta be much smarter than that.
No, bro, that's not an excuse, Dibo, because all of us have said some blatant garbage stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But we don't say it on an IG live.
No, but you can't say offensive stuff on IG live and don't expect to get any consequences for it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like his age should not be an excuse, because all of us have said stuff that we're probably not proud about, just like every other person in the world.
For sure.
Just like every other person in the world. But the difference is, one, we understand our platform, and two, we understand that we do it in a group chat where like nobody else is seeing it except for 8 people, and he's doing it on an IG live with thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. Like I understand that we want to talk about age, but I think at some point it's just unexcusable.
I don't think one mistake. I mean, okay, it depends on the mistake.
That's fair. That's fair. It
depends on the mistake. Let me get that abundantly clear. You can't go out and kill someone and be like, "Oh, it was a mistake." But no, I think something to that level, I think it should be treated more as a learning experience.
No, that's not true, Owen. That's not true.
What's up?
I mean,
what's that one book we read in English? Huh? I bet we've all read it. Where like they take the potion and it makes them act dead, but they're not actually dead. What? And then one of them, Romeo and Juliet. Thank you.
It is Romeo and Juliet.
Yep. So that's a case where it's like,
bro, I never read that shit, bro.
You don't know what happened?
You never read it?
No. Okay, it's not to say it wasn't like ever assigned to me. I just never read it.
I only know what happened because we watched the movie in class. I can't even lie.
Man, the movie was fire though. The movie was fire. It was a really good movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, but yeah.
But that's a mistake of killing somebody that you can't blame. I don't know if you know the story, Owen.
What?
Okay, so he clearly the story for Romeo and Juliet was like they were in love.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Their families were feuding, and so they went to like this potionist or this mixologist. That's what it was called, and they asked the mixologist like, "What should we do? We're in love, but like our families won't let us see each other." And the mixologist is like, "Oh, I'll give you this potion, and basically you take it and it like makes you dead for like 48 hours, let's say." And so they both take it, and they both like plan to meet at one place at a certain time. And one of them took the potion on the wrong day. So like Juliet thought that Romeo or whatever, vice versa, when they went to the spot that they were supposed to meet at, they were like, "Oh my God, he's actually dead." And so they went to the casket, and like 5 minutes before Romeo wakes up, Juliet kills herself. Crazy story, right? Shakespeare was a madman.
Crazy story, dude. Bro was
But
cooking.
yeah. But back to the situation. I get that Jamal Jarrett, the player who we just mentioned, I get that in his mind what he was trying to say. You know, he was like, "Oh yeah, let me make this joke. Let me make this joke real quick. It's not harmful, you know." But of course, in today, like in our climate, man, like your words can hurt people, and especially with different races, like Asian people too. So we, you know, as people need to like always look out for that and be careful with what we say, especially online, because your actions can affect what you want to do personally. And as of right now, he hasn't been suspended by the football program. The University of Georgia hasn't put out a statement on the situation, but I don't know, man. He could possibly get kicked off the team for this, which is unfortunate because
It is.
he's what I think he's a 4 or 5 star recruit. He's just high recruit, right? He just got committed. So for his playing career, his playing career might be over just because of one mistake. And yeah, it's very bad. It's very unfortunate, but hey, that's what it is. Sometimes your actions do have consequences.
No, I don't think he should be kicked off the program. I don't think he should.
No,
be
no.
kicked off
I
the
feel
team.
I feel like for me, he should be suspended from the team for a while and then be in like some program to like for him to learn off his mistakes moving forward so it doesn't happen again. Like a little like I don't know what the word to say, but like counseling, like a counseling. He has to do like mandatory counseling for a period of time.
Can I say one thing? Can I have like a dark little twist on this?
Oh God.
But
I don't think I don't think it should be as negative as people think for this one reason, or at least from him, like from Jamal. I don't think he should look at it as negative for this one thing. You said 17, 18. Like that's like I know that we said like, oh, like we know that we shouldn't make that mistakes, but for him, like if he's a 4 or 5 star recruit, he's gonna have this platform for a while. To be 17 and 18 and that be like your first mistake, it's almost like, okay, you're 17 and 18, like this is your age to do dumb shit. Like if this is all you're gonna do, like one thing, I understand it's bad. I do understand it's bad, but if this is it, like I don't think that's horrible. As bad, like is that crazy to say? I know that's a dark twist, but it's like 17 and 18. Like think about our parents. Our parents, they're like, oh, when I was your age, like I was doing stupid shit all the time, and like so like I
not
think
my parents. But yeah. Continue. My fault.
but like I like that 18, 17 is your age to do dumb shit. So I think it's like for him to do this before, I think he's an incoming freshman, right? So he hasn't even played a game.
Yeah.
Like before he starts his college career, before he really gets a chance to make a name for himself, like that's the one slight positive out of all of it. But overall, it's a negative. Let me say it like that.
But yeah, no, for sure. I think the best thing that could be done is just treat it as a learning experience. Yeah, it's bad. We all know that, but just learn. Learning is the best thing you can do in a situation like this, for sure.
I agree. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up before this fourth quarter starts.
I know. Celtics
and we blowing Philly up, man.
The Celtics,
back, baby.
dude. I mean, they play better when the beat is there. Like it's just how it works.
I'm fraud.
Not my MVP.
Not my MVP. No, I'm playing.
No, that's my guy.
I'm playing.
But yeah, man. Social media. Go follow those up. Follow on our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all with the handle at Lunchroom Debates. Hey, please just keep giving us more love and support. We appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and hopefully it will continue to lots of success and prosperity for all of us. So,
Cameroon, stand up. Yup.
Hey, I'm standing up right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's catching wave.
Yes, sir.
It's catching wave.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
catch a wave.
We fucked
Yeah.
up the wave, y'all.
Hey, that's funny. Hey, babe, clap it up, boys. Clap it up. Another good episode.
Yup.
That's a good one.
I'm about to turn recording off.
All right. Let's do
Splendid.
it. Have a great
Splendid.
night, gentlemen.
You as well, sir.